A week ago, from Wednesday, there was a young man, 22-year-old Darrien Hunt, who found himself the victim of a police killing on his trip to a convenience store. The young man set out to go buy a drink or a snack or whatever. Now, he was dressed like one of the characters, Mugen from Samurai Champloo. And the police felt that the inclusion of a toy sword in his outfit warranted killing him. It's a very sad story indeed, but it's the toy sword that makes this story just a little bit more interesting. According to a 911 caller, Darrien was supposedly waving the sword around in a maniacal manner, and this caller felt that they were really threatened by it. A witness, Natalie Christensen, said she saw Hunt walking totally cool along the street, wearing earbuds to a 3 or 4 foot sheathed sword strapped to his back, and she took a picture of him with her phone. He was just walking nonchalantly, totally calm, Christensen said. He was totally calm, minding his own business. He smiled at me, and he turned and smiled at me like he had no care in the world. Not too long later, outside of a Chinese restaurant in Saratoga, Utah, the young man was approached by police. And then the police, for some reason, opened fire on him, killing him. Initially, the police said that they were not prepared to give a reason why they opened fire. However, that changed a little bit later, when the deputy stood up and made a statement regarding why the officers killed the young man. When the officers made contact with Mr. Hunt, he brandished the sword and lunged towards the officers with the sword, at which time Mr. Hunt was shot. There is currently no indication that race played any role in this confrontation between Mr. Hunt and the police officers. However, the witness to the event gives an entirely different story. They say that he was calm and that he wasn't provoking anybody and he was being cooperative. Now, when autopsy was done on the young man, whenever somebody's killed by the cops, there should always be one. The results of that autopsy were released by the Hunt family lawyer, and they tell a very different story than what was given by the officers. This is consistent with statements made by witnesses on the scene who report Darrien was shot to death while running away from police. It would appear difficult, if not impossible, to reconcile these facts with the story that Darrien was lunging towards the officer when he was shot. That's right. All the shots that hit Darrien were in his back. But the police tell us they shot him because he lunged at them with a sword which has since then shown to be nothing but a toy with a rounded end. The officers were scared of a toy. Now, granted, in the heat of the moment, the police could easily confuse a fake weapon for a real one. It does happen all the time. Except that the evidence points to the fact that he did not lunge at them whatsoever. In fact, all the shots were fired into his back. I think it's pretty clear here that, once again, the police have lied and given a false statement in order to cover up their actions. And we're so quickly to tell us that race had nothing to do with it. I don't think that's believable in any way, shape, or form. Anytime a black person is stopped by a police officer, there is some racial connotation. The reason that is because we live in a racist society. There is no time when you can remove racism from the context of anything that happens, especially when it's in a racist society. We are constantly hearing about these killings of young black men by police who have turned out to do nothing. And in fact, Darrien Hunt wasn't even actually accused of a crime either. The police went to just go check him out because, you know, black person, mostly white city, you kind of see where this is going. But as they're quick to tell us, race had nothing to do with it, apparently. My point is this. no matter what, there was always a racial connotation to police killings when the person that is killed is black. You can't deny that there is a racist history with police officers, and that carries well through to today. So to even say that there would be no racist context to it is absolutely false. And I think in this case, we very clearly see that the physical evidence does not match up with the story of the police officers. And because of that, those police officers should be frankly charged with murder. Because the witnesses don't corroborate their end, and the evidence doesn't seem to do that either. So once again, we have another young black man that was killed by racist cops and then attempted to cover it up. Thank you for watching. Please comment and rate the video. If you liked it, hit subscribe or check out some of these other great videos. If you wish, share it on social media. While you're at it, why don't you follow me on Twitter? And if you got time, go on over to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available.